Our first speaker, Ray Gasser, currently serves as the Executive Director for Residence Education and Housing Services at Michigan State University. Prior to his tenure at Michigan State, Ray worked at University of Idaho, University of Arizona, Indiana State University, Colorado State University, and Florida State University. He is the former chair of the Programming Committee, currently serves as the chair of the Campus Housing Index Advisory Panel, and has served as faculty for NHTI and ACUHO Professional Development Institute. Ray is passionate about his two sons, Eli and Dylan, music, preferably Pearl Jam, and the Seattle Seahawks. Please join me in welcoming Ray Gasser as he speaks about humility.
Good afternoon. Today I want to share the most important lesson of my life and career. I want to discuss how humility has changed the way that I experience the world. C.S. Lewis once said, "Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less." The Cambridge Dictionary defines humility as the feeling or attitude that you have no special importance that makes you better than others. When I was first asked by Vinnie Gore to lead the department at Michigan State, he asked me to strive to be a servant leader. At the time, I understood servant leadership in a very sterile and academic sense. Today, I understand our role as housing professionals is so much more than simply serving others. I want to take you on a journey of my own self-discovery around what humility means to me as a professional and as a human being. Humility is a gift. Humility allows us to continue to learn, to not close our minds to new realities and information. But humility requires one to be vulnerable. Vulnerable to not have all the answers, vulnerable to be broken. As a young professional, I wasn't that. Upon leaving grad school and entering the profession full-time, I would describe myself as an idealist. I entered the profession with a level of arrogance and self-confidence that I would make a significant impact on this field and the students that I came into contact with on a daily basis. This arrogance made me think I could do my job better than those in higher levels in the organization. I'd offer up feedback and then question colleagues when they didn't utilize that feedback. I wouldn't say I was destructive to the organization, but I also wasn't helping move it forward either by rallying behind the strategic direction. In 2014, I began to see how my arrogance and self-confidence were impacting my life and career. I didn't know what the solutions were, but I began to see how I didn't like the person that I continued to evolve into. I wasn't being my authentic self. By May the following year, I realized my marriage was coming to an end. But my pride prevented me from I felt shame for not living up to who I thought I was. While going through my divorce, I had the opportunity in 2016 to step into as the interim executive director at Michigan State. In many ways, this challenge provided me a lifeline to focus on work rather than the shame and hurt that I was feeling. I realized more than ever I had to focus on those things that brought me happiness. My children, my career, and music. And those of you that know me, I like to go see live music from time to time. While I invested in these things, I still was in the search for answers. I learned an important lesson from my therapist. It was showing humility when your natural inclination was to respond arrogantly. For example, I could choose to express negative emotions to my ex, but humility allowed me to put others' interests ahead of my own, in this case, my children's. This lesson has allowed me to grow as a human being. I can more freely own that I make mistakes and more quickly learn from those. I bring this to work every day as well. My staff know that I strive to own my mistakes. Along my journey, I learned another critical lesson. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Let me repeat that. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. To be a servant leader, you must care more about others than your own self-interest. Next, I learned the power of acknowledging my own vulnerability. Sitting on the faculty panel of NHTI in 2016, I shared my own fragility in response to a participant's struggles in her life and career. Instead of posturing, I shared that I was going through some life challenges while admitting I was seeing a therapist to help provide navigation for myself. Humility has also led me to leave many social media platforms because I found myself motivated by ego. I began to ask why I was posting things. Was it simply to share, or was I motivated by the persona and reputation I was creating for myself? Social media is often a sanitized truth and unauthentic. I did not want to define myself by the number of followers or likes that I had. I wanted to be genuine and authentic. I didn't want to have to worry about how others would judge me. Humility has allowed me to admit I was wrong. It's allowed me to apologize when my actions have impacted others. It's allowed me to apologize to a group of colleagues when I realized my language offended them. Humility allows me to overcome any hang-ups to the mistakes that I make with others. As a humble being, I make mistakes. I continue to learn on a daily basis from the people in this room and the people throughout my life. I am not defined by my doctorate, nor my experience. I define who I am every day by the actions that I take and the words that I share. I am fallible. Some may be asking why I shared this story. I believe we all have pieces that we worry that others will judge us by. I see a lot of younger professionals following a similar path. But I can tell you that I found more love and grace by those around me, which has made it easier to choose humility. I want to surround myself with other humble beings. We have the ability to impact students on a daily basis. It requires us to not have all the answers, to admit when we're wrong, to be kind to all that are around us, and to humbly serve. Thank you.